I went Juco to put on a little bit more weight before I tried to go to a D1. And when I got there was dudes that were 280, 6'5", this and that. And we go in the weight room and I'd be like benching and looking over at them bench. And I'm like, wow, I'm doing 200 more pounds than you? I'm like, what the fuck is this about? And then we get on the field and they're beating everyone's ass. And then I'm this much smaller. And then I'm like, is it really about the number? Like, what are we really doing here?
Yeah.
Do I really need to be pushing all this weight at my size? Maybe, but I was there to gain weight, so it's
a lot of lazy coaching.
Yeah.
Hey, we had this one athlete who was awesome, and he benched 400 pounds.
Exactly.
So everybody else, that's the standard.
That's what we're doing. Exactly. That's what we're doing. And you get these natural athletes. Like I truly feel like some people are built for football.
Yeah.
And, you got some of these guys that got the natural strength and they come out on the field and they can bend, they can get loose. But without training that rotational, you just don't get that like freaky athlete movement that you need. And so that's what I found with Goda and, practicing kettlebell and doing all the windmills, all that. And then, throwing some of the WEC stuff in there. I've now thrown in a whole pool of movement. So now I feel like I'm on like a mission to teach new athletes. I'm like, look, we need to be training in all these different ways because when you get on the field, yes, there's some movements that are predictable, but you practice that when you go practice the sport, right? Like you practice football when it's football practice. Off the field, it's, do we really need to power clean? Do we really need to back squat? Is that the best for this specific athlete? And I don't think that is a lot of the case. I mean,
no.
Every time, without fail, every time I back squatted, my back would hurt. And, I was going to my athletic trainer at the time. And then it came down to the point I was doing, the ultrasound, all that shit. And it would come right back as soon as I get back on the bar. And yes, there could have been some like overcompensation on one side or other, whatever you want to say, functionally.
Right.
But it came down to the point where he was like, maybe back squat just isn't for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, fuck back squat. Like,
right.
I don't need to.
Like, what's the goal here? To be a better football player or to be a better back squatter?
Yes, exactly. So it's kind of like that. And so I just got so burnt out with it. So now I'm kind of doing everything. I mean, you can find everything on my page.
Right.
I'm like, doing athletic training. I'm doing kettlebell here. I'm doing everything. So.